Hey, what is up, you guys? Vac Attack here, and today I'm going to be doing natural living room vacuuming with this Bissell Cleanview bagless PowerTrak Plus. Sorry, PowerTrak Plus. As most of you know, I've had this thing for a while, but I only somewhat recently put it back together because the motor in this thing was completely shot, and I tried rebuilding it, but it was just too far gone. So I ended up getting another motor for this thing, fixing it up. Now it works great. It has an LED bulb in it. I put new filters because the other ones tore apart, which is typical. It's a little dusty, but at least they're intact, so I could really care less. I don't know why, but on these Cleanviews, these upper things like to move around a little bit. Typical Bissell, I guess. This filter is a little dusty, but it should be fine. I'll clean it out after I use this, though, most likely. But yeah, this does have the original Cleanview design, as you can see, just with the PowerTrak base. Though it's not in the best shape, but it's good enough. And the filter, I believe I put a brand new filter in here. Yeah, I did. It's already a little bit dusty, but oh well. I may have to take this thing apart all the way down to the motor and wash it out. Which thankfully, on these Bissells, it's not like the 8-amp motors to where it's soldered in. You could just take the connectors off. It's held in by connectors, so it's a lot easier. But yeah, other than some of these cosmetic flaws, this thing's in great shape and it works great. Has a new belt and everything. This even works. And I got a turbo brush for it. So yeah, that's just an update on this thing. And now we're going to be doing a living room vacuuming with it, because I have not really done a full video on this thing. I only did a few shorts on this thing. But yeah, sounds great. I think the bearings in the motor are starting to sound a little bit dry, but it's kind of expected. I could always replace those, but for now it sounds good enough. It's only on the startup to where the bearings sound kind of dry and the wind down, but when the vacuum is actually running, it sounds just fine. Anyways, enough chit chat. Let's get started. Stupid cord. Hate when that happens. Anyways, just to prove it did not die. Yeah, this thing's a beast, at least for a Bissell. Yeah. And I vacuumed the floor yesterday with, well, granted, the floor does get dirty every day because of animals, but the most recent thing I used was a Kirby Centria. And, yeah. This Bissell is pretty good. It's got a decent amount of fine dust, too. So, yeah. Would I ever consider these the best deep cleaners in the world? Hell no. But it's a Bissell. It's a budget machine. For the price, they do pretty damn good, in my opinion. But when you compare this to like a Phantom Thunder or something like that, the Thunders will absolutely out-clean these every single day. But I still love these Bissells. They're part of my childhood. I really like this PowerTrak. This might actually be my favorite. Let's check the filters, actually. That's the only reason, that's one of the things about Bissells is the filtration is nowhere near the best. But it's also not the worst either, if I'm being totally honest. Like, it honestly could be worse. Now, would I daily one of these? Probably not. Just for the risk. And these PowerTrak Pluses, it's a little bit harder to find parts for. So, yeah. But, yeah. Great machine. So glad I got this thing working again because it's a beast. Excuse me. The brush roll's actually in good shape too. Surprisingly, the bearings might be going out a little bit. Well, not going out, but the bearings on the brush roll are definitely worn. But as you could see, works just fine. Like I said, the bearings on the motor are a little bit worn too, but that's, you know, that's not a big deal considering, you know, this motor came from a PowerTrak 6592, which is an incredibly old machine. So, you know, considering how old the motor was and how the original motor in this thing sounded, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this motor. I may replace the bearings at some point, but I'm not too worried about it right now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this living room vacuuming with the PowerTrak. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those notifications because I will be posting more content soon. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Peace out.